talk about the top 2024-2025 prospects for the PPR league for um, fantasy football. So, in my perspective on this is, some of these guys are interchangeable when it comes to the top 300. And I'm talking specifically about PPR leagues, but you can think about standard leagues as well. But I like PPR leagues because it allows for you to have a lot more fun with the players. I think all players should be credited for rushing yards, and I think all players should be credited for receptions, as well as receiving yards. Standard play, I've played it before, but it's not as fun as playing the PPR league. So, welcome back to the channel. With further ado, I'm going to just talk about this top 300 sheet. I'm not going to go over every player, but I just wanted to give my insight in regards to the top 300. But I would say maybe the top 100 that we need to look at, because you got to think about injuries. You got to think about the health of the player. You have to think about their previous year productivity. And you got to think about the interchanges of teams. You got to think about all of that stuff when it comes to fantasy football. Now, I know fantasy football, so welcome. Hey, do me a favor. Give me a comment. Tell me who you think should be at the number one top pick. But also give me your insight in regards to how are you going to draft this year? Are you going to do running back heavy? Are you going to do receiver heavy? Are you going to get two-star quarterbacks? Are you going to try to find the top tight ends as well? Those tight ends are very, very small. But when it comes down to the game of football, you have those consistent players, and then you have those players that are they're falling off. So we have to keep that in mind in regards to age, in regards to durability, and also we have to keep in mind the health of the player as well. Are they injured right now? Do you believe that they'll be injured when it comes to the season and they're missing a lot of games? So without further ado, let's talk about the top three so far is Christian McCaffrey, which I can definitely believe. As long as he stays healthy and, he has the supporting factor with Brandy Ayuk and Debo Samuel and George Kittle, he's going to be all right. And plus, he can get a little bit of a breather as well because of the backfield. But Christian McCaffrey, I can definitely say, is going to be one of the top picks when it comes to a running back. Now, Breece Hall, on the other hand, remains in question. Although he had, a decent season last year, he's the number one running back there. Breece Hall, there's inconsistency when it comes to the Jets. With Aaron Rodgers coming back, we will see what everything takes place when it comes with him and his gameplay, because he's no spring chicken. He is older. So we have to keep that in mind as well. Bijan Robinson, with the addition of Kirk Cousins, is going to help him a lot. Drake London, you have to think about their tight end that I'm just drawing a blank of their name. But, Kirk Cousins is a decent quarterback to have, and he is a consistent quarterback as well. You might have some games where he's not doing as great, but he's a decent quarterback, so I have to give it to Kirk Cousins. CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb as wide receiver number one coming off of the board. I believe that he's going to be consistent. I had him last year, and it was more booming than busting. So I believe that CeeDee Lamb will be in the top 10, maybe not 4. He may be in the top 15, but it all depends on Dak. It depends on, the supporting cast of the team. It's going to depend on a lot when it comes to that. Tyreek Hill, definitely. When it comes to Tua Tagovailoa, however you say his name, Tua Tagovailoa, it's a tough name to say. But anyways, I believe that Tyreek is going to still be in that same position, because Tyreek is, that guy's amazing. He's super fast, got great hands, he's got great vision, and there's very many things that he can do on the field in an open field. Also, it's very tough for DBs to keep up with him. So I believe that he is another person that will be in the top 5, top 10. Jamar Chase speaks for himself. With T. Higgins, Jamar's the man there. Joe Burrow, as long as he can stay healthy, but even if he doesn't, the backup quarterback didn't do too bad last year. And Jamar Chase, if he can start right off the gate with just on fire, I think he'll be consistent. But it all depends on what the quarterback play as well. Running back as well, because Joe Mixon is no longer there. So running back as well. I'm on Ross St. Brown. Amon Ra is the dude, and he will remain the dude as long as he can stay healthy. Um, when it comes to just his gameplay and how he played last year, I believe that he is going to be in the top 10, at least top 15. But again, it all depends. Justin Jefferson. Now, Justin Jefferson is in a little bit different of a change in regards to you know Jamar Chase. He lost his quarterback, and his quarterback was the type of guy that would look his way 90% of the time. So, that remains in question on if he's going to be in the top 8 when it comes to it. Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor had a rough year last year with being injured. Um, just the different changes within the organization itself. Jonathan Taylor, if he can get back to the 2022 strength, if he can get back there, then I think he's going to be great. But I don't believe that he's should be in the top 10. I mean, maybe in the top 15 to 30, but not in the top 10. He's got to show me something before I say, yeah, he's going to be up there when it comes to running backs. Now, this person here should be moved up to at least 7, and that is Saquon Barkley. Saquon is with Philadelphia Eagles, so fly Eagles fly. I am, my brother's an Eagles fan. I am a Patriots fan, but I just love sports and I love good games. I believe that he is or should be higher than what he is right now. I would say even in the top 8, because even though they have a great receiving core, they like to run the ball too. They are not necessarily pass heavy. And I know that Jalen Hurts like to tuck the ball and run too, but Saquon can catch the ball out of the backfield. Um, Magnificent speed. He's got a great football presence, but it all depends on how healthy he is. But I think that he should at least be in the top 7. Uh, Kyron Williams. This guy came out of nowhere last year. I mean, with the type of play that he is, he's not a big guy. He's very shifty. He's not going to be the burner. But Kyron Williams is a pretty good player. I really don't believe that he should be in the 11th rank when it comes to PPR. I think more so between 15 and 20 as well, even though, they are more balanced now with Puka Nacua blowing up last year and Cooper Kupp, he's going to get even more healthy and everything. Matt Stafford has a great supporting team. Matt Stafford has a great crew that follows behind him. So, yes, he should be up higher than that. AJ Brown. AJ Brown is he's a massive dude. I mean, you want to talk about the level of toughness, you want to talk about the level of grit and grind. He's definitely in the right spot. Number 12 receiver, receiver number 6 to be picked up. I think that he's in a good position right there. Now we talk about Puka Nacua. Hey, this rookie from last year was amazing. Now he's in his sophomore year. Can he do what he did last year or even better? I believe that he can. Even though this is his second year, they have that kind of drop off or whatnot. But I believe that he's going to continue to be consistent, especially with the team that he plays for. If he was on a different team with a different quarterback, then I would think that it'd be a different story when it comes to it. Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson is an amazing player. I believe that, if as long as Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, Garrett Wilson's going to get a lot of looks. Garrett Wilson's going to get a lot of play. I don't know if you guys have kept up with football as long as I have, but I remember when T.O. and Chad Ochocinco were on the same team, and it was like, the Red Rifle would throw it to Chad Ocho, and then he would throw it to T.O. I think that was back then in that time frame. My mind in regards to quarterbacks back then is a little bit, it might be a little hazy, but this is the type of player that Garrett Wilson, he will get a lot of looks. He will definitely get a lot of looks. I kid you not. And I would say it's going to be 70-30, 70 towards him and 30 towards every other receiver, because there's not really much over in the Jets. So let's go over here to Isaiah Pacheco and Jahmyr Gibbs. I think those Pacheco should be further down. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is where he needs to be at because he's an amazing player, coming off of a great rookie season. Chris Olave should be up before Garrett Wilson because Chris Olave, despite him having, concussion here and there and, the inconsistent play of quarterbacks, Chris Olave's a great player as well. So Devontae Adams, uh, when it comes to Devontae, he wants to win. And I get that, and I understand that, and I appreciate that. But he's kind of a head case when it comes to it. He's more like, he could be a crybaby here. I don't want to go into all of that. But if he can get the quarterback that's going to be giving it to him consistently, that is definitely going to help him out with his morale. But also they have to be accurate too, because sometimes Devontae is getting these crazy balls thrown to him, and who cannot be frustrated when you're getting balls thrown to you and it's too high, or you having to bend all the way down to catch the ball, knowing that there is going to be somebody behind your back to try to take your legs out from under you. So Michael Pittman Jr., I think that if Anthony Richardson is fully healthy, Michael Pittman Jr. is going to be that man. So I think with that, he's in a good position as well. Mike Evans, after Tom Brady left, it was not, we didn't know what to expect with this play. We didn't know if he was going to be able to get the 1,000 receiving yards that he's been consistently getting over the years. And I have to tell you, Baker Mayfield did a great job for the Buccaneers. I think with Mike getting older, he might slide down just a little bit. However, you never know. He might get that 30-year-old boost, but it all depends. Travis Etienne. I had him last year. Some days he was booming and some days he was busting. It's all going to depend on the Jacksonville Jaguars offensive line. If they can do a great job of keeping Trevor Lawrence protected, if they can just, basically be solid with that, if they can open up those holes for Travis, I think Travis will be great. But you can tell closer to the end of the season that he was not 100% healthy. You can tell also that maybe his morale was a little bit down because the Jaguars started sliding down when it comes to their record and their gameplay. So we'll see on that. Let's just scroll over. You guys can pick this list off of the ESPN Fantasy Football, but let's just go ahead and take a look at a couple other things here. I am not going to talk about every player. I'm just giving my insight in regards to the players that I think need to be where they're at, or if they need to be further down. Now, if you play in fantasy football, you play in a money league, or you play in a league where it's free, there are several different options when it comes to it. You can do where you have a draft pool, or you have a draft amount of money that you can spend on drafting players. I don't like that. I just think that you can pick up a player however you want to pick him up. For my team personally, we don't have a draft cap. We don't have, when it comes to, you have $60 and you have to spend X amount of money to pick up a player. Hell, if you want that player, you have an opportunity to get that player, and it all depends on whose records, and also it's a list of, okay, this person has the best record, so they're not going to pick automatically right there. So it's definitely something interesting for waiver wires and things like that. You don't get to pick first all of the time. You don't get to pick second. It just all depends on what the owners are doing when it comes to if they want that particular player that you think is about to have a great year, or if you think that you have a running back down, you need to pick this person up because they're going to fill in that position. It all depends on how everybody else is thinking about that same player. I mean, look at this list here. There's 300 players on this list. Any one of these players can have an amazing game, and then next you know, they are the starting player. It just all depends. But let's go over here. Excuse me. Let's go over here and let's just go down to where the tight ends fall at. Sam Laporta is above Travis Kelce for the first time that I've ever seen a tight end go above Travis Kelce. Excuse me. I am so sorry, guys. Hey, you're catching me in my natural element. I don't try to fake it. I just make it. You hear me? And so I had to clear my throat there because I do some talking and it gets a little scratchy. Anyways, Sam Laporta, another rookie. This guy just came. I mean, wow. Wow. He had a great season last year. I think that he will continue to have another great season. However, I don't believe he's before Travis Kelce. I believe Travis Kelce is that guy. That's Patrick Mahomes' favorite receiver now since Tyreek's left. So Travis Kelce is going to get his. And I would say that, these two tight ends are definitely two at the top of the list to pick up. So, pick your poison. Kelce, who is going to be in the Hall of Fame, he's already a Super Bowl winner 2 times, 3 times, whatever it is. He is definitely going to be that guy for Kansas City. Let's go down. Let's go down to where the first quarterback comes off. You have Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. Now, I can definitely understand them to be the number 30th, 29th, and 30th quarterback. But I think that when you look down here to Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, I think they need to be moved up as well. Because me personally, I believe that all 4 of those quarterbacks, you can pick them one after the other. And the reason why I say that is because they are elite players, and also they have surrounding cast with them that's going to help them out. I forgot who Kansas City Chiefs added to their roster, but they're going to be good. They're definitely going to be good, just like always. They won a Super Bowl last year, the year before, or the year after, whatever. They are champion. They have the championship mind frame, but also with Andy Reid, he is the man. Since Belichick's decided that, he wanted to retire, Andy Reid is the next guy to think about. That's the type of coach he is. He's just an amazing mastermind of a coach. And he's been doing it for so long that, he knows the game in and out. When they made the adjustments against the San Francisco 49ers, it was very evident that this man is special. But yeah, with those 4 quarterbacks, I think they can go one after the other. With Lamar Jackson being a little bit further down in comparison because, Lamar, he's a dual quarterback, and he's got Zay Flowers, he's got Mark Andrews, he's got some good players on his team. But there are some times where he's just not getting it done. And, I understand when you're the quarterback, you have a lot of pressure on you. But with Lamar, I think that he can actually stay down to 44, and then you move Patrick Mahomes up right either above Jalen Hurts or below, to be the 32nd, excuse me, not the 32nd, let me get back over here, the 31st quarterback to be the 34th off of this draft list. But hey, I think that it's going to be an exciting season. I appreciate you taking a look at my channel. Again, you can pick this list off of ESPN Fantasy Football, and it's very, I'm gonna have to print this out and study this because it's very interesting to see, some of these up and coming new players like Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr. I want to see how he's gonna play because the guy was amazing at Ohio State, and so I'm interested to see how this list pans out when it's all said and done. So check it out. Like this channel. Give me a subscribe. I am building on the fantasy football, and I'm getting started early with going over research and everything. So I appreciate you sticking with me. I know fantasy football with Walt. Have a good one. God bless. And also, it's almost here. So excited. Peace.